Hi everybody, it's Miss Becky from Yampa Valley Baptist Church. Today we're going to make your very own puzzle for Father's Day. We're going to put a horse on this puzzle. So in your kit you're going to need to use a paper plate from home, and you're going to put some of the white, yellow, red, and black paint on your paper plate. You're going to need water, paper towels, your large flat brush, and inside your kit should be a little tiny detail brush also. Your puzzle canvas and your stencil of your horse. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the top here of the canvas, just like we did with the He Has Risen. You're going to get your brush wet, dab the water off, start with red paint. And going left to right with that red, you're going to cover the top of that puzzle with red. Okay, we're going down. I would cover, going into the puzzle, 1.5 pieces down with red. So here's your 1.5, and now you're going to start with your yellow blending in. Don't even need to rinse your brush, as we learned that yellow and red make orange. And you're going to start blending down on your puzzle piece. See how that's starting to make a little bit of orange color there. Keep adding yellow as you go down. Continue down sides of that puzzle piece. Now we're going to rinse that brush out real good. Get most of that red out. Now we're going to go strictly yellow. Again, continue with the left to right motion. Going down. Now you're going to dip that brush into some white. Continue on down, making sure that all the puzzle pieces are coated. Okay, now we have a nice blended background. You're going to set that aside and let it dry. I already have one prepared that is dry. So once it's dry, it looks similar to this. Okay. Now you're going to take your stencil of your horse and you're going to lay it down on your canvas, making sure that the horse fits inside the measurements of the puzzle. We don't want him hanging out over here or up top. Try to get him the best you can right there in the middle. And we are going to trace around that stencil. When you're putting that on there, remember that it is a puzzle, so try to get the pieces like his tail and that kind of stuff not stuck in a crevice. I used a black Sharpie so it's easier to see on the puzzle pieces itself. Make it easier for you to color into. So when that is done, you have your stencil placed on there, traced around there, and now you can begin coloring it in with your black and your smaller pencil, your paintbrush, sorry. Okay. When you're using the black, you want to water it down like ink. So you're going to keep adding water to that black until it looks like the consistency of ink. To get a fine tip on your brush, you're going to take the side of your plate and you're going to twist that paintbrush on the side, and it makes a nice little point for you to go into these tiny little spaces, and you're going to begin to color that in. Remember to start from the top and work your way down, otherwise your arm is going to rub in the paint. Take me just a little bit here, get this all colored in. Continuing down, use that little brush to get in the crevices of in between each piece of the puzzle. I'm going to go ahead and do the smaller pieces so I can use the larger brush again to fill in the basic part of the body. Making sure that the hooves and the mane and the tail. You use this smaller brush. So now you're getting to go along here. Use the smaller brush to make the finer details around there. So the bigger brush, I can still continue to go inside the lines. We're going to go back to this large brush and start filling in that. Don't use too much paint. Make sure you spread it around. If you have clumps, it's going to stick those puzzle pieces together and you won't be able to take it apart. I'm almost there. Okay, once you have the horse filled in, we need to give him some ground here so he's not floating in the air. And you can just take your brush, go along the bottom here, just barely touching the bottom of the hooves as you draw the line across. Continue down to the bottom of those other pieces. There you have it. Now you've made your very own puzzle. You can give this to Dad for Father's Day. Make sure you let this completely dry before you take the puzzle pieces apart. With quarantine, now you and your dad on Sunday can do a puzzle together that you created yourself. Thanks. See you next week.